part here is the trim piece that I'm going to pull off. Some essential tools. The first thing I try to do is just go around and feel if there's any loose spots. And if I get lucky, like right there, I can feel I can get it out pretty good. But if I couldn't, I'd keep moving. So I'm not trying to, you're not trying to scratch this wood though. Well, my lucky spot's gonna be right here. Closer to that nail, I'm actually pulling on this end. You can see, get it back there, you can kind of pull it, turn it out. You see how I did that? I propped it. So first we popped it in, slid it down, pushed it back a little bit, and turned it around. And then with my force here, just tilted it out. Now it's out. So again, when I first popped this, we just shimmied this point part straight down, slid it up towards the nail, propped it out a little bit, went to the end, and then we turned this around, popped it down, and just used the force of the board, pull it this way, and the nail will slowly come out. And then you can just work your way down. You might even be able to just do it by your hands and just slowly pull it. If you can't do that, just grab your tool, because it's always easier with a tool. And remember, use your leverage, so all you gotta do is really just push back, slowly move down, push back again, make sure you go over the nail, slowly push it down, and from this point, you should be able to pull it right out. Now, there's one nail got stuck, so we use our tool here, connect it around that nail, pop it back, it's loose again. All right, so just one more example here, pulling off the trim. Some of these can be a real pain, and some of them come off real easily. You just never know what you're gonna get, depends on how tight that nail's in. Again, I like to first feel around, see if there's any loose areas. Oh, right there's kind of loose. There as well, which makes sense because there's a nail here and here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So in between these are going to be the biggest gap, which makes sense why we can sneak it in there easier. So we know right now. Now again, I'm pushing it in, I'm pulling it back a little bit. Let me see if I can get lucky. Maybe sneak that side in. The other side's closed. Just gotta be careful because you can really scuff the wood up if you go too quick. So we'll do a two-trick method. One tool in, one tool there. Now that we got it in, we're good. So we'll just push back here. And you can see, you can go either which way. Go towards the other nail. Pull it. One thing you just want to be careful of is you can see how it's got that little edge here. So if you go too deep, you're going to get stuck on the bottom, and you're actually pushing the flooring at that point. You're fighting the flooring, and then you're going to really break some stuff. So you want to make sure when you're doing this that you only go X amount, you know, for your thickness. And you can even put a little tape around there if you're having issues with that, or just feel it. But just make sure you're mindful of that, because you could do some real damage if you just take that. If you don't have a lot of experience measuring or doing woodworking in general, it's not a bad idea to say, if you can get your trim pieces pulled out without breaking them, which if you follow my directions, you should be able to do it just fine. Remember, start on one end and work your way down slowly. You can actually save these as a template. And I would recommend like a number system. Start in one corner and number at 1 and work your way down the room and just keep going so they're easy to remember where they go, or you can write it down, but that gets kind of tough, like the location. And then what you do is you just use this as a template. So you get your new trim, put this down, and then you trace it. And I think the biggest advantage is like your angle cuts, so you don't have to measure it. A lot of times people make lots of mistakes on the angle cuts.